Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So we are in a fairly interesting zone. There's actually quite a bit of noise going on here, and I just want to do the next level. So before we get onto the lower time frames, let's just reiterate what I'm saying on the weekly. So if you look to the left, you can see there is a massive area of support and resistance in all these levels that I've just drawn in. You can see there's lots of tails that touch there. There's lots of areas where we come back for support. So this is a zone, so we call it, of potential. It was support over the last year. So it has been, we have found support chase. Remember, there was our tweezer bottom. There was our piercing pattern off this zone, and then we've broken through. We're now back up in this zone. So a rejection here is going to be pretty violent. So that's the one thing we need to bear in mind. And the other thing we bear in mind is that we are obviously in a weekly downtrend. So we've got all the confirmations. Moving averages crossed over everything. Only thing that's against us is we have a grouping of the oscillators looking like they're going to cross over, and we have this massive engulfing bar at the moment. So just keep that picture in the back of your mind when you start going through your charts, because when you start looking at the 8-hour and you look at what's happened so far this week, we've had this massive move up, which everybody gets excited. Looks like we found a bottom and lots of noise around a bottom. We're coming through some of the resistance when we're slicing it through like a knife through butter, but then we get to the top level of this zone of resistance and we are battling, and that is at 12,688. Oscillators are grouping together as well. It's looking really overbought. So, what does that mean? A potential leg down. So obviously the structure that we have now, you'll see now when we get down to lower time frames, possibly a double or triple top, depends how way you want to look at it. Look at the diversions. I know we've got a separation and a crossover here of the oscillators, so this is going to be pretty interesting. But we still are not higher than what was there. So price has made a new high, but the oscillator has not. We've got non-farm payrolls tomorrow. We've got jobs numbers today. A little bit more noise in Europe. Energy prices are falling. There's a whole lot of potential catalysts that are brewing right now. So for me, we do have a crossover here of the moving average. We are above there as well. So there is potential for this just being a flag, pole, flag, continuation to the upside. So that is the one scenario we have brewing. But then we have the other scenario, which is this is now a top, and we're now looking for another leg down. Okay, so the other bit of macro information that you need to pay attention to is V reversals are rare. So you would expect a deeper pullback to create a higher low. In other words, so you can get that rounding bottom pattern. Here's a good example here. You can see low, 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 and then it pulls back deep to create a higher low, but it gives you this little rounding bottom, which then gives you that little move to the upside. So that's kind of the situation I'm seeing at the moment. We start getting down to the hour, and you can see yesterday was pretty much nothing, just drifted down, and then during the US Open we kind of drifted back up, back into this top zone here. So for longs, I need to clear this area, and unfortunately by clearing the area, it means I need to let it run a bit, and then it needs to come back and find support and build my structure before I start looking at that. Shorts, I'm reluctant to jump in short because we are in a potential reversal here from if you're looking at the moving averages. So we do have a potential trend reversal happening. So I'm very reluctant to be jumping in short because that would be going against the short-term trend that we have at the moment. So with all of that noise in the back of your head, you can see chaos everywhere. So I suspect we are going to bounce around in here until we get the catalyst that we're looking for. So for today, it is strongly looking like a scalping day, a buying opportunity off the gap here around 12,600. So you're going to have to just look to the left. There's lots of structure here to the left which would pick up an opportunity. So just draw your line along these tails here. And if you start getting positive price action there, I would expect you'd have an opportunity to jump in basically a 40-point stop loss for a 94-point gain. So that is the one scenario. And then the other scenario is a massive move today and a drop below the lows of yesterday. And then you're looking for a retest of one of these lower levels, and that would trigger shorts, basically to the downside. So that's kind of the area. So the area for me, or the zone for me that I need to pay attention to would be 12,600 and 12,500. So maintain above 12,600. We should be looking for potentially a break above this. If we get some form of noisy catalyst that comes out that drives price hard above this price, probably worth taking the break and putting a stop below the structure. Alternatively, if you drift into this area and you start dropping below the bottom here at 12,500, then it's probably worth looking for an opportunity to short this with a potential view of breaking the swing lows of yesterday. That's kind of the view that we've got at the moment. So I suspect we're either going to range or we're going to have a breakout one way or another. So there's three scenarios on the table, and unfortunately my coin toss skills does not give me three options. So I think personally I'm probably just going to sit and wait for this one, wait for the noise to get out the way, and then we'll be able to see what's going on. It's been quite a nice ride the last couple of days, but I think we need to now wait and see what's going to happen next before we jump in. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.